True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good.
Learned we may be with another man's learning. We can only be wise with wisdom of our own. Believe in sudden shifts in life. You never know what is coming for you.
I'm going to try speaking some reckless words, and I want you to try to listen recklessly.
Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Knowing your why is much more important than setting a random goal.
The easiest way to be reborn is to live and feel life every day. Men don't need linguistic talent. They just need courage and words. Better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie.
The greatest stories aren't always written. They're plucked from the everyday lives of ordinary people. Travel brings wisdom only to the wise. It renders the ignorant more ignorant than ever.
Sometimes you recognize truth because it destroys you for a bit.
An intelligent man is one who acknowledges his intelligence as that of those who surround him. Spoon-feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon.
If you derive joy in destroying others, you won't go far in life.
It's a rare gift to know where you need to be before you've been to all the places you don't need to be. If the highest aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced. It is important that we forgive ourselves for making mistakes. We need to learn from our errors and move on.
What we can change is our perceptions, which have the effect of changing everything.
A place for everything. Everything in its place. We hold the future still timidly, but perceive it for the first time as a function of our own action. Fairness does not mean everyone gets the same. Fairness means everyone gets what they need. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dreams that you wish will come true. Everything that can be thought at all can be thought clearly. Everything that can be said clearly. The certainty about the uncertain is that it will remain uncertain till the time it's certain. It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things. Don't own so much clutter that you will be relieved to see your house catch fire.
Your life has a limit, but knowledge has none. If you use what is limited to pursue what has no limit, you will be in danger.
If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life.
If you want to dine with perfection, you must toil with imperfection.
To burn always with this hard gem-like flame, to maintain this ecstasy, is success in life. Be happy with who you are and what you do, and you can do anything you want.
The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell.
Tragedy and adversary are the stones we sharpen our swords against, so we can fight new battles. Therefore, a victorious army first wins and then seeks battle. A defeated army first battles and then seeks victory. If you are a giver, remember to learn your limits, because the takers don't have any. After everything has been said and done, all you have is your story. Make sure it's worth telling.
Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens.
For it can never be that war shall preserve life, and peace destroy it. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything.
Speak to me. I will spend my lifetime trying to understand you.
Somebody once said, if it's something a single book can explain, it's not worth having explained. I believe there is another world waiting for us, a better world, and I'll be waiting for you there. If you start by promising what you don't even have yet, you'll lose your desire to work towards getting it. Life teaches us the right path is rarely the easy one.
We may be small and we may be young, but we will shake the world for our beliefs.
You can't save anyone who wouldn't save themselves without you. It's the hardest lesson to learn in life. Take it from me.
Life is short. Live it. Love is rare. Grab it. Anger is bad. Dump it. Fear is awful. Face it. Memories are sweet. Cherish them.
Of life's two chief prizes, beauty and truth, I found the first in a loving heart and the second in a laborer's hand.
If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake.
Beauty exists not in what is seen and remembered, but in what is felt and never forgotten.
Enchantment lies in everyday moments if you are observant.
Liberty without learning is always in peril, and learning without liberty is always in vain. Don't overshare. Privacy is power. When you want something, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. Even if there's a small lie in the truth you're telling, it will make the truth questionable. Divide your success in small pieces. Easy to manage failure, easy to achieve success.
Nothing makes a person happier than having a happy heart.
There are many things worth living for, few things worth dying for, nothing worth killing for.
If you are far from the enemy, make him believe you are near.
You are exactly where you need to be. If you want something, do something about it. Otherwise, it will be your whole life. The shortness of life, so often lamented, may be the best thing about it.
If their forces are substantial, prepare for them. If their forces are strong, avoid them.
You do not immortalize the lost by writing about them. Language buries but does not resurrect. Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right.
Life is an essay you yourself have to write, start to finish. In war, practice dissimulation and you will succeed.
Treachery and violence are spears pointed at both ends. They wound those who resort to them worse than their enemies.
By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart.
If you do not believe you are disciplined, it is because you have not decided to become disciplined. A burning desire has devious ways of transmuting itself into its physical equivalent. Gotta keep my head above water. Gotta make it through. You cannot live a nonviolent life as long as you are consuming violence. Please consider going vegan. Good works is giving to the poor and the helpless, but divine works is showing them their worth, the one who matters. I hear my silence talked of in every lane. The suppression of a cry is itself a cry of pain. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Any war that requires the suspension of reason as a necessity for support is a bad war.
It's important in life. If you don't give a shit, it can help you a lot.
Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and doing as you say you would do.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for life to throw you a curveball.
Make life easier by living in the present and believing in the future. You will never follow your own inner voice until you clear up the doubts in your mind. May your feet ever walk in the light of two suns, and may the moon shadow never fall on you.
Feel your emotions. Live true your passions. keep still your mind.
If all the people who were called crazy started acting normal, we'd probably still be living in caves.
You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you odd.
He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. Most things break, including hearts. The lessons of life amount not to wisdom, but to scar tissue and callus. Two things define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything.
Cleverness isn't always true, nor is the truth always clever.
All men have their frailty, and whoever looks for a friend without imperfections will never find what he seeks.
Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth.
A gentleman is someone who does not what he wants to do, but what he should do. When we stop fighting against death, we are able to wake up to our lives. Not everything can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted.
A common man marvels at uncommon things. A wise man marvels at the commonplace.
Those who will not reason are bigots, those who cannot are fools, and those who dare not are slaves. Sometimes you have to lose all you have to find out who you truly are. Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight. The bird of paradise alights only upon the hand that does not grasp. Autumn is a place where words fall short. It is a magic that must be felt, breathed, experienced, and treasured. Life is like a beautiful melody, only the lyrics are messed up. Sometimes a little discomfort in the beginning can save a whole lot of pain down the road. If you think you can do a thing, or think you can't do a thing, you're right. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story.
To succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone.
There's a world of difference between truth and facts. Facts can obscure truth. The truth is that judgment and fear will never stop, but they don't actually do anything.
Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we've touched. Stay in the center, and you will be ready to move in any direction.
What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Being sensitive is a gift that fosters peace. Help create a kinder, gentler world by embracing it.
Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting.
I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human action, but to understand them.
Pretend to be weak, so your enemy may grow arrogant. The only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to.
No matter how long you train someone to be brave, you never know if they are or not, until something real happens. Remake the world, a little at a time, each in your own corner of the world. The right thing and the easy thing are never the same.
What is to be, will be, and no prayers of ours can arrest the decree.
The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. We know everything, we just haven't thought of it yet. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Help others without any reason, and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. I don't like people around me sad. I like making people happy.
Without subtle ingenuity of mind, one cannot make certain of the truth of their reports.
Every comforting word is a command from a man of action, while every word of command is commotion from a man of just words. But I do know which is the least popular. The truth. Life is dear to every living thing. The worm that crawls upon the ground will struggle for it. Live your life. Be happy as you can be. Let go of the things that don't matter, and fight. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. Every luxury must be paid for. And everything is a luxury, starting with being in this world.
True friends are always together in spirit. Lucy Maud Montgomery. Loving yourself is required for authentic relationships.
Fall 7 times, stand up 8.
It takes more effort to avoid the truth than it does to face it.
The wide-awake man seizes opportunities or makes them, and thus those who are widest awake usually come to the front.
Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field. I have given my word that only death will take me from you.
Avoid the inelegance of assumption, the astigmatism of disregard. Free your thoughts. Every man has his secret sorrows, which the world knows not, and oftentimes we call a man cold when he is only sad. You are at your strongest when you are calm. I was saying the right things, but not the really true things. The irony of life is that those who wear masks often tell us more truths than those with open faces. The beauty of the world has 2 edges, one of laughter, one of anguish, cutting the heart asunder. When life gives us challenges, they are opportunities to grow, just like storms feed the plants and give us rainbows. Snow floated down every once in a while, but it was frail snow, like a memory fading into the distance. Life is nothing without a little chaos to make it interesting. Good people are good because they've come to wisdom through failure. We get very little wisdom from success, you know.
Done is better than perfect.
If you hear how wonderful you are, often enough, you begin to believe it, no matter how you try to resist it. Scar tissue is stronger than regular tissue. Realize the strength, move on.
Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Having nothing to struggle against, they have nothing to struggle for.
Take a deep breath. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Despite my ghoulish reputation, I really have the heart of a small boy. I keep it in a jar on my desk. After all, if you do not resist the apparently inevitable, you will never know how inevitable the inevitable was. Talking without thinking is like shooting without aiming. Don't have hope that the situation will be better. Have hope that your Savior will be nearer.
Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. In the midst of darkness, he alone sees the dawn. In the midst of the soundless, he alone hears harmony.
Control your thoughts, or your thoughts will control. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Because if you found meaning in your life, you don't want to go back. You want to go forward.
Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished.
Accept yourself, flaws, quirks, talents, secret thoughts, all of it, and experience true liberation.
If you always want the validation of others, you won't grow beyond people's expectations.
Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like. Promise. The selfish man suffers more from his selfishness than he from whom that selfishness withholds some important benefit. Being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It means that you've decided to look beyond the imperfections. What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life. The thorns we endure in life are but shadowed by the precious petals of a rosy outlook. Sometimes change was good, sometimes it was even exactly what you needed.
Sing your life. Any fool can think of words that rhyme.
There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. To pay attention, this is our endless and proper work. Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. We never realize just how many other lives we can help when their paths cross our own. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. People's lives take them strange places. They do strange things and, well, sometimes they can't talk about them.
Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of.
If you want to be happy, do not dwell in the past. Do not worry about the future. Focus on living fully in the present.
Life is too short when you think of the length of death. Concentrate your energy and hoard your strength. Perhaps home is not a place, but simply an irrevocable condition.
Having perfected our disguise, we spend our lives searching for someone we don't fool. Sometimes you get pushed out, not because you're not worth it, you are worth more. A great many people always think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudices.
It can only take a moment to waste the rest of your life.
When at last I ceased to be myself, I came to be. The most important day in your life is the day when you come to realize who you really are.
Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less.
Life starts out with everyone clapping when you take a poo and goes downhill from there.
Life is an experiment in which you may fail or succeed. Explore more, expect least. Your words start to lose value when your actions don't match.
The number of people who believe a thing has no bearing upon its truth. The mind once enlightened cannot again become dark.
I encounter one example after another of how relative truth is.
If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
Some things in life are too complicated to explain in any language.
Everything existing in the universe is the fruit of chance and necessity. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Watch for the thing that will show itself to you, because that thing, when you find it, will be your future. I think it's important to hold a mirror up to society and yourself. The world is merciless, and it's also very beautiful. Don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself.
Keep your dreams. You never know when you might need them.
One day you'll see why God made you wait. What one thinks is right is not always the same as what others think is right. No one can be always right.
The spirit tower has its guardian, but unless it understands who its guardian is, it cannot be guarded. The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence. Abundance is not the absence of scarcity. It is the presence of abundant mentality.
The evolution revolution is here. Global sense makes common sense. Be humble, for you are made of earth. Be noble, for you are made of stars. There are no traffic jams along the extra mile.
Fear is the polio of the soul, which prevents our walking by faith.
I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. You have to be transparent, so you no longer cast a shadow, but instead let the light pass through you. People can change anything they want to, and that means everything in the world. The goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature.
The men of old breathed clear down to their heels.
We may regard certain days as free days. Free days are, however, fee days. We will pay later. Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last.
The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. Do not wait for the last judgment. It comes every day.
The key to flow is to pursue an activity for its own sake, not for the rewards it brings.
We don't have to defeat any individual but our own self.
I think of life as a good book. The further you get into it, the more it begins to make sense. Good things happen in your life when you surround yourself with positive people.
Politeness is the first thing people lose once they get the power.
Sometimes being happy takes effort. Invest time and energy in yourself and your happiness. I don't fit into any stereotypes, and I like myself that way. When you are present in gratitude, you can't be anywhere else.
Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across.
What you focus on and the way you think will determine the way you live. Surround yourself only with people who are going to take you higher.
We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown.
The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Of all knowledge, the wise and good seek mostly to know themselves. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or says it.
Watching my back is the perfect opportunity to stick a knife in it.
Satan profits from the prayerlessness of the saints.
For any sin, we all suffer. That is why our suffering is endless.
To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Wisdom is to speak the truth and act in keeping with its nature. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. We all take a different path to the same place. Why we took the path we did will always be a mystery. They might pay you to vote for them, but having a wrong government in place, you pay it with your life. How much you can learn when you fail determines how far you will go into achieving your goals. Don't let anyone know what you're doing until it's done. Whoever cannot seek the unforeseen sees nothing, for the known way is an impasse. Advice is like snow. The softer it falls, the longer it dwells upon, and the deeper it sinks into the mind. Don't dwell on things. Don't stay in one place too long. It was the only way to stay ahead of sadness.
Until death itself comes, no calamity need be feared.
We have now sunk to a depth at which restatement of the obvious is the first duty of intelligent men. Don't ever trust men with good intentions. They'll always disappoint you. Leo.
Wisdom comes not from age, but from education and learning.
Focus on your goals, not your fear. Focus like a laser beam on your goals.
Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible.
We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves.
We reveal most about ourselves when we speak about others. It isn't where you came from, it's where you're going that counts.
I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. To me, there is nothing complicated about ordinary equality.
Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more.
Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way.
To subdue an enemy without fighting is the greatest of skills.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
The truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
Sometimes the only reason for us to be somewhere else is to see things from a different perspective. I just want to teach people how to be comfortable. Stop being so scared.